Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today. Chapter 831. Child of the Void has been trapped at the perfect ninth stage for tens of billions, hundreds of billions of years, never able to take that step. Yet shortly after Lin Yuan's arrival, he broke through. Lin Yuan speculated that the Child of the Void's breakthrough might have something to do with him. Many bottlenecks and shackles required a change of heart to overcome. Naylan, the deputy tower master of the main universe's human civilization, was able to break through to the 11th stage because he lost to Yuan, who was still at the 9th stage, in their most proficient competition of the rule of time. Interesting. Lin Yuan stood up, took a step forward, and disappeared from where he was. Deep within the Void's secret realm, the aura of the Child of the Void was terrifying, with spatial temporal fluctuations sweeping in all directions. All the demonic divine masters who had reached the 9th stage of the boundless void sensed it. 10th stage. I have finally stepped into the 10th stage. Tears filled the eyes of the Child of the Void, as he had been at the perfect 9th stage for far too long. If not for the existence of the Void's secret realm, he would have doubted whether the boundless void had ever given birth to a 10th stage evil god. Now, I am also standing at the pinnacle peak throughout the history of the boundless void. The Child of the Void exuded spatial temporal aura wantonly, with ambition surging in his eyes. That martial ancestor, I need not be too wary of him anymore. Stepping into the 10th stage, the Child of the Void's self-confidence was greatly enhanced. In his view, even if the martial ancestor was also a 10th stage evil god, and even stronger than any other 10th stage evil god he knew of, according to the message left by the creator of the secret realm, ordinary 10th stage evil gods were not capable of treating the Void's secret realm as nothing. But no matter what, he was now on the same level as the martial ancestor. The Child of the Void had no intention of fighting against the martial ancestor. Rarely did 9th stage evil gods kill one another, let alone at the 10th stage. Strong beings are not fools. Why would they risk their lives against beings of the same level after cultivating to such a realm? However, in terms of status, the Child of the Void felt that he should still strive for it. At the very least, he believed he did not need to grovel as he had before. At the same time, the spatial temporal fluctuations caused by the Child of the Void's ascension to the 10th stage also alarmed the many perfect demon true lords. Spatial temporal fluctuations? Has another powerhouse stepped into the 10th stage? Is it the great Child of the Void? Has the Child of the Void broken through to the 10th stage? One after another, the perfect demon true lords were initially incredulous, but then they became invigorated. Indeed, these years, under the oppression of the martial ancestor, they had been living quite stiflingly. The martial ancestor was too strong and influential. Not a single perfect demon true lord dared to defy him, not even dare to speak ill of him in secret. But now, the Child of the Void has also stepped into the 10th stage. Unlike the martial ancestor, at least the Child of the Void was the leader of all demonic divine masters. Before the martial ancestor stepped into the 10th stage, many perfect demon true lords were following the orders of the Child of the Void. Compared to the martial ancestor, whose temperament was unknown, naturally, many perfect demon true lords preferred the Child of the Void to step into the 10th stage. Let's go. Let us go congratulate the Child of the Void now. The great Child of the Void is destined to remain great forever. All the perfect demon true lords immediately set off toward the Child of the Void's location. A spacious grand hall. The Child of the Void sat high upon the throne, with the perfect demon true lords standing below. Great Child of the Void, your ascension to the 10th stage means your brilliance will surely envelop the boundless void. All life submits under your light. One after another, the perfect demon true lords congratulated the child of the void with utmost reverence. The child of the void sat quietly on the throne. He had heard such praises countless times before, but now that he had stepped into the 10th stage, it felt different. Great child of the void, from today on, we evil gods no longer need to cater to the whims of that martial ancestor. That's right. These few hundred years, I've really been living in trepidation, for fear of offending the martial ancestor one day. Now it's fine, with the great child of the void here, the martial ancestor won't dare to go too far. Many perfect demon true lords quickly mentioned the martial ancestor, which was inevitable. Before the child of the void's breakthrough to the 10th stage, the martial ancestor had been the dominator of the boundless void. Even the child of the void had to look up to him. But now everything was different. At least, the boundless void had two more dominators. Of course, the many perfect demon true lords present did not really expect the child of the void to strain relations with the martial ancestor for their sake. That's unrealistic. But at least he could serve as their solid backing, causing the martial ancestor to be apprehensive and elevate the status of the perfect demon true lords. Rest assured, the child of the void replied, a confident expression on his face. Now that I have stepped into the 10th stage, I will surely not let you suffer any grievances. The child of the void had not yet finished speaking. The spatial temporal surroundings fell into an eerily silent stillness. This silence, thorough and complete, made even an evil god of the 10th stage like the child of the void unable to sense any spatial temporal fluctuation, as if he had been brought back to the 9th stage, no, the feeblest 1st stage. Swoosh! A figure appeared silently. He looked exceedingly ordinary, without any aura emanating, but in this completely silent spatial temporal environment, he seemed out of place, as though all of time and space were under his feet. This figure was Lin Yuan. Merely appearing, he silenced the entirety of time and space. The aura of the child of the void, which was like a boundless ocean, now seemed like a toothless tiger, struggling to even sit on his throne, beads of cold sweat forming. Martial ancestor. The child of the void looked up at the martial ancestor standing high above. At this moment, how could he not realize that the changes around were all because of the martial ancestor, and that he had thought after stepping into the 10th stage, he would be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with him? But now it seemed it was just a joke. Without even making a move, the martial ancestor was already almost too much for him to bear. Was this what it meant to be on an equal footing? I've seen that you've stepped into the 10th stage. Lin Yuan glanced down at the child of the void and said in a calm tone, so I've come over, planning to congratulate you. Thank you, martial ancestor. Martial ancestor, you have troubled yourself. The child of the void forced a smile, speaking in an utterly respectful manner. The many perfect demon true lords below were also aware of the completely silent spatial temporal reality. However, compared to the change in space and time, the dialogue and postures between the child of the void and the martial ancestor at this moment made all the perfect demon true lords tremble with fear, as if plunged into an icehouse. Chapter 832. Return. All right. This time, besides congratulating you on reaching the 10th stage, there is another matter. Lin Yuan glanced at the numerous evil gods below, as well as the child of the void drenched in cold sweat. With a thought, he restored the surrounding space and time. To Lin Yuan now, whether the child of the void had reached the 10th stage or not made little difference. Neither posed a significant challenge to him. When Lin Yuan first grasped the 6th realm of time and space, his combat power had already surpassed a 9th stage evil god, let alone after a century of arduous cultivation. 100 years ago, the child of the void was no match for Lin Yuan, and 100 years later, the gap between them only grew wider. Even if the child of the void fortuitously ascended to the 10th stage, it was far from sufficient to bridge the divide. Of course, Lin Yuan thought it could not be bridged, but perhaps the child of the void didn't see it that way. Therefore, upon Lin Yuan's arrival, he directly exerted his authority to make the child of the void realize his position. Now, it seemed the effect was quite satisfactory. Martial ancestor, please speak. The child of the void immediately said respectfully. Freed from the suppression of the stillness of space and time, the child of the void felt significantly more relaxed, but inside, it was as if he was in a dream. Having stepped into the 10th stage, the child of the void thought he would achieve a corresponding status, but now it seemed no different from before his breakthrough. You and the other evil gods must take an oath to not initiate an attack on any martial Tao cultivator within the next 100 billion years. Lin Yuan spoke. With his return imminent, Lin Yuan naturally intended to eradicate any final hidden dangers. That was to prevent these foreign evil gods from harboring any other notions after his departure. While the ancestral demon tree could still seek Lin Yuan's assistance, it would still be a waste of world-breaking origin force. This descent not only solved the crisis of the Tianqing world and considerably spread martial Tao but also brought enormous improvements to his own cultivation. Could be said to be a full harvest. But a future descent would not yield such gains. To minimize any chance of mishaps, Lin Yuan naturally made preparations, compelling all evil gods to take the corresponding oaths. An oath, as referred to in the spirit realm, is known as a heart oath in the boundless void. It is made to resonate with the laws of the Tao through the vow, thereby binding oneself. Lin Yuan compelled these foreign evil gods to take oaths, rather than killing them to eliminate future troubles, as this would exert sufficient pressure on martial Tao cultivators. Under pressure, there will be motivation, and martial Tao can develop more vigorously. Why the restraint of 100 billion years? If, after 100 billion years, martial Tao still fails to produce a cultivator who can match a 9th stage evil god, then Lin Yuan would indeed have to ponder whether the issue lies with the martial Tao system he created. And even after 100 billion years, given Lin Yuan's deterrence, it's highly likely the child of the void wouldn't dare make a move. After 100 billion years, even considering the 600-fold difference in the flow of time between the boundless void and the main universe, millions of years would have also passed there. If Lin Yuan hasn't successfully assaulted the ultimate border by then, he probably would have failed and perished along the way. Under such circumstances, the fate of the martial Tao cultivation system is no longer Lin Yuan's concern. Good. The child of the void agreed without any hesitation. The other perfect demon true lords also showed no doubt. What a joke. Even without the restraint of the oath, with martial ancestor Lin Yuan overseeing them, these evil gods wouldn't dare touch a martial Tao cultivator no matter how bold they were. Soon, all the evil gods took their oaths before Lin Yuan, invoking a response from the boundless void. Finally, Lin Yuan gave one last look at the many evil gods and vanished without a trace. Long after Lin Yuan's departure did the child of the void dare to straighten up and look around. Has the martial ancestor left? The child of the void let out a huge sigh of relief internally. Martial ancestor? What level of power does he truly possess? The child of the void swallowed nervously. When he hadn't broken through to the 10th stage, facing the martial ancestor already required enduring immense pressure. But now that he had reached the 10th stage, facing the martial ancestor felt even more pressure than prior to his breakthrough. Could it be the 11th stage? The 12th stage? The child of the void rapidly speculated in his mind, as the power displayed by Lin Yuan was nothing short of divine wrath compared to that of an ordinary 10th stage. The child of the void, in addition to reaching the 10th stage himself, also had access to detailed descriptions of the 10th stage left by the founders of ancient secret realms. After stepping into the 10th stage, the child of the void felt that he fitted the founders' descriptions well, but Lin Yuan, the child of the void, was at a loss for understanding. Great child of the void! Just as the child of the void was lost in turbulent thoughts, a perfect demon true lord below couldn't help but tentatively speak up. They had all come to congratulate the child of the void on entering the 10th stage, to bask in the presence of the martial ancestor. However, judging by the recent scene, all hopes harbored by the evil gods were likely to be unfulfilled forever. You all may leave, the child of the void said listlessly, feeling that he might have been better off not breaking through to the 10th stage. Before reaching the 10th stage, at least there was a goal in his mind, to view the martial ancestor as a target to pursue. But after the breakthrough, upon sensing the martial ancestor's presence, He realized he had no hope to catch up. From hope to despair. It was not a pleasant feeling. Yes. The many perfect demon true lords exchanged glances and respectfully withdrew. The shock in their hearts was immense, as the strength of the martial ancestor simply shattered the long-standing perceptions of the boundless void. Could there really exist such a formidable being in this world? Wait! The child of the void seemed to have thought of something and spoke. We must abide by the words of the martial ancestor just now, and we must not violate them. Oaths could only restrain but could not outright prevent. Should a perfect demonic divine master go mad and disregard everything, the oath would not be able to constrain them. Therefore, the child of the void once again warned the many perfect demonic divine masters that they must not violate the martial ancestor's command at any time. Yes, the great child of the void, we are not fools. One after another, the perfect demonic divine masters immediately promised. The power of the martial ancestor exceeded their imagination, and even without the child of the void's words, no one would dare to violate them. With these demonic divine masters here, Martial Tao will have at least 100 billion years of development time. Within the boundless void, Lin Yuan's figure appeared as he silently thought. The boundless void would continuously give birth to new evil gods. The evil gods of later generations, not having experienced Lin Yuan's strength, might act against the beings within the world. But now, those perfect demonic divine masters, as well as the 10th stage child of the void, had witnessed Lin Yuan's methods. With their restraint on the new evil gods that would be born in later generations, the situation in the boundless void would remain stable for a long time. This was also the reason Lin Yuan did not slaughter all those powerful demonic divine masters. The fear those demonic divine masters had for Lin Yuan would be more deterrent than an oath. Tianqing World. Before the martial hall, Lin Yuan's figure appeared. Martial ancestor. The high priest Qin Yao immediately came forth to pay her respects. For 100 years, Lin Yuan's true form remained in seclusion for arduous cultivation, but his two primordial spirits would often appear, transporting many martial Tao cultivators to other worlds. The journey to more worlds from now on will be up to you. Lin Yuan spoke. 600 years of nurturing had brought the strongest batch of martial Tao cultivators in Tianqing World to the 7th stage. This was the result of Lin Yuan's two primordial spirits taking some time to personally train them. These 7th stage martial Tao cultivators were rapidly promoted by Lin Yuan through certain means, with little chance for further advancement. The purpose of forcefully nurturing these 7th stage martial Tao cultivators was to ensure the spread of martial Tao after his departure. A 7th stage martial Tao cultivator could already traverse the void and could completely find new worlds on their own to spread martial Tao. Of course, compared with the protection afforded by Lin Yuan's two primordial spirits, the subsequent spread and development of martial Tao would be much slower, but it had the advantage of time. All right. High Priest Qin Yao nodded before cautiously asking, "Do you have matters to attend to, martial ancestor?" Although Lin Yuan's tone was calm all along, High Priest Qin Yao still sensed something more in his voice. "Next, I will enter seclusion, and it may be a very long time before I emerge." Lin Yuan spoke. The so-called seclusion meant returning to the main universe, and if nothing unexpected happened, Lin Yuan might not return to the boundless void until after a long passage of time. And it was uncertain whether there would indeed even be such a day. If martial Tao could maintain its development without facing a crisis of broken succession, Lin Yuan might never descend again. "Yes," High Priest Qin Yao reverently responded. "Martial ancestor." High Priest Qin Yao wanted to say something more, but she found that the martial ancestor had already vanished from in front of her. "I wonder how long this seclusion of the martial ancestor will last." High Priest Qin Yao thought to herself, then immediately busied herself once more. As the origin world for martial Tao, Tianqing World now had too many matters to handle every day with the rapid spread of martial Tao. Boundless void. Lin Yuan lay back casually, letting the tides of the void ebb and flow, carrying him to other regions. He spent the last year also in cultivation and understanding, and while he had reached the limits of his perception of the rules of the boundless void, Forcing further understanding was not without gains but would be much less efficient. Time passed by. A year went by in a blink. Whoosh! Lin Yuan's figure disappeared. When he appeared again, he was already inside the ancestral demon tree of Tianqing world. His mind and will returned, and this martial ancestor golden body naturally could not be cast aside but was placed in the safest location. For the next descent, this safest place was naturally the interior of Tianqing world's ancestral demon tree. In terms of strength, the ancestral demon tree was not powerful, and it could not compare to a ninth-stage evil god. However, the ancestral demon tree was Lin Yuan's beacon within the boundless void, able to connect with Lin Yuan's true form in the main universe at any time, thereby summoning the descent. This was where the ancestral demon tree's greatest power lay. The time for my stay has come. Lin Yuan slowly closed his eyes. Deep in his mind, that majestic and grandiose myriad realms gate suddenly shone brightly. Chapter 833, Refining the Ultimate Weapon. In a daze, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. I'm back. Feeling the immeasurable and vast rule fluctuations of the main universe, a smile emerged on Lin Yuan's face. In the final 20-plus years in the boundless void, Lin Yuan's comprehension of the laws had made slow progress. One of the main reasons was that the sea of laws in the boundless void was too shallow. You could see its limits at a glance. But the main universe? Lin Yuan saw the hope of a significant improvement in law comprehension. In the boundless void, reaching the sixth realm of spacetime is already the limit. The seventh realm is theoretically impossible to achieve. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Indeed, the sixth realm of spacetime was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. The reason why creators of secret realms and children of the void could step into the 10th stage was due to their innate endowment and talents. But now, Lin Yuan felt the even more vast and profound fluctuations of spacetime beyond the sixth realm. Of course, feeling it was one thing, and whether one could comprehend it was another matter altogether. Just like how ordinary people see a towering mountain in the distance, seeing and reaching it are entirely different concepts. After comprehending the sixth realm of spacetime, Lin Yuan did not delve deeper. Apart from the limitations of the boundless void, it was also because his own level was too low. Comprehending the sixth realm at the 10th stage? At least within the main universe, there were no known precedents, certainly none from before. As for comprehending the seventh realm, Lin Yuan has no such ambition at the moment. The space-time of the cosmic starry skies is also too vast. At this moment, Lin Yuan's understanding of the cosmic starry skies had undergone a significant change compared to before his travels. Before his 10th interdimensional travel, Lin Yuan's realm in spacetime was only at the second realm, but now he has reached the sixth realm with every detail of spacetime clearly visible. It's so vast and spectacular, Lin Yuan carefully observed, feeling awestruck within. If the boundless void is considered a narrow space of several square meters, Lin Yuan would only need to take one step or a few steps to reach any point within it. But the entire cosmic starry skies is like a football field. Even with the comprehension of the sixth realm, he couldn't achieve the same think and you are there as in the boundless void. This is the difference in the breadth of spacetime between the main universe and the boundless void. In the cosmic starry skies, not to mention that Lin Yuan's mere comprehension of the sixth realm of spacetime, even a level 12 supreme being couldn't achieve think and you are there. Within the vast territories of the main universe, there are occasionally dangerous spatial-temporal locations. There exist layered spatial-temporal mazes. Even with the comprehension of the sixth realm, one cannot traverse directly. But with my current control over spacetime, plus the 9 steps of spacetime, unless a strong being personally pursues me, I'm essentially invincible. Lin Yuan was certain in his heart. Even if he couldn't be omnipresent like he was in the boundless void, he had far surpassed his previous capabilities of spatial traversal in the main universe. Together with the 9 steps of spacetime, not to mention beings beneath the supreme level, Lin Yuan had a feeling, even if a level 12 supreme being wanted to catch up to him, they would probably have to wait until the 5th or 6th step, or possibly only have a chance after the full 9 steps. The profound Shenhuang lineage's survival secret technique 9 steps of spacetime was undoubtedly unmatched in terms of escape speed. This was a Dao-protecting secret skill created specifically for the descendants of the profound Shenhuang lineage by Shenhuang, who roamed the chaos void. Although Lin Yuan was confident that supreme beings could not guarantee catching up to him within 9 steps during an escape, he would not foolishly provoke a supreme being. For a supreme being who wants to kill a being below the 12th stage, why would they need to personally chase them down? A single soul attack would be sufficient. Now my strength. Lin Yuan began to assess himself. Before his 10th travel, Lin Yuan's estimation of his combat strength was at the 3rd or 4th tier of level 11. But now, even for legendary beings at level 11 perfect, such as the 4 divine kings, if they did not make use of supreme weapons, Lin Yuan could easily suppress them with a flick of his hand. The 6th realm of spacetime compared to the 5th realm is practically an overwhelming crush. If the combat strength of a level 11 perfect being is 10, and evil gods in the Boundless Void's 10th stage are between 15 to 20, then Lin Yuan's combat strength is around 100. And for a level 12 supreme being, setting this as a standard, their strength would be in the hundreds of millions. Although Lin Yuan still could not compare to a level 12 supreme being, he had also surpassed the normal level 11 perfect legendary beings. In the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan used the environmental constraints of the two-dimensional world to crush those level 11 perfect legendary beings. In reality, though, he was taking advantage of the situation. But now, Lin Yuan's real combat strength had indeed surpassed level 11 perfect legendary beings completely. Here, surpassing completely refers to those legendary beings relying purely on their own strength. Compared to the 10th stage evil gods of the Boundless Void, the level 11 perfect legendary beings in the main universe have a tremendous advantage. That is weaponry. The 4 divine kings could integrate a supreme weapon to greatly level up their combat strength. Other level 11 perfect legendary beings also have hopes of acquiring a supreme weapon. Most level 11 perfect legendary beings in the main universe were backed by peak clans or a supreme being. In order to improve the chances of reaching the ultimate level, peak clans or supreme beings would bestow a supreme weapon to allow the legendary being to pre-comprehend the power of the 12th level. This supreme weapon is only lent temporarily. If the recipient successfully enters the level 12, it won't be taken back, but if they fail, the weapon would return to the clan's possession. The reason the 4 divine kings have such a big reputation among the many level 11 perfect legendary beings in the main universe is because of the supreme weapon they own, which is very compatible with them. Chapter 834. A weapon that perfectly fits oneself is not only capable of perceiving more power of the 12th stage but can also deeply explore the might of this ultimate weapon. Unfortunately, the ultimate weapon of the 4 divine kings, along with the departure of white paper, was completely lost in the two-dimensional world, resulting in the loss of core spiritual will. This caused the 4 divine kings to fall from the top echelon of level 11 perfect legendary beings in one fell swoop. There's no need to elaborate on how an ultimate weapon enhances combat capabilities. Even if a level 11 perfect legendary being gets an ultimate weapon that is not quite suitable for them, when fully activated, it can still unleash the might of hundreds of times its battle strength. The activation here relies solely on one's own strength without any backups from a transcendent being left in the ultimate weapon. On the basis of a level 11 perfect legendary being's combat power of 10, to explode with the might of hundreds demonstrates the deterrence of an ultimate weapon. 10 to hundreds? This certainly does not mean a mere tenfold increase. A level 11 perfect legendary being wielding an ultimate weapon can easily sweep away a group of legendary beings without such weapons. Of course, a level 11 perfect legendary being, when wielding an ultimate weapon, can explode with might far beyond their own limits. But similarly, the energy expenditure to activate the ultimate weapon is also enormously terrifying. With the foundation of a level 11 perfect legendary being, it's impossible to wield the ultimate weapon more than a few times. Ultimate weapons. I have many of them. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred, and the Taiyang divine spirit entered the Shenhuang's secret realm. In the cosmic starry skies of the main universe, when it comes to the number of ultimate weapons, Lin Yuan is unrivaled below the 12th stage, no one dares to claim second place. The number of curiosities collected by Lin Yuan in his journey to the two-dimensional world is close to 100. Even if most of these 100 items are 12-star rare materials, the number of ultimate weapons still exceeds 30. 30 ultimate weapons? Although it may not be as rich as the treasure vault of a peak race, it's enough to make any level 11 perfect legendary being look up to them. In fact, they can't even look up to them. Nearly all level 11 perfect legendary beings' ultimate weapons are temporarily borrowed from their race. Swoosh! Lin Yuan's figure appeared at the deepest part of the Shenhuang secret realm. This is also where many curiosities are stored. Ultimate weapons. With a thought, 32 ultimate weapons appeared before Lin Yuan. The 32 ultimate weapons were neatly arranged, including knives, spears, cauldrons, towers, and a variety of others. Now I can actually pick a few ultimate weapons. Lin Yuan stroked his chin. Previously, Lin Yuan did not choose an ultimate weapon because he wanted to refine them. Even preliminary refining requires the understanding of the fusion of time and space at the fifth realm. Without reaching the fifth realm of time-space understanding, it is impossible to activate the vast time-space inside the ultimate weapon, let alone refine it. That is to say, to refine an ultimate weapon, one must start at the 6th tier of level 11, and in reality most owners of ultimate weapons are at the 6th tier. That is, level 11 perfect legendary beings. Before Lin Yuan's 10th spatial traversal, his understanding of spacetime was only at the 2nd realm, so naturally, he had no thoughts of refining ultimate weapons. But now, Lin Yuan's understanding of spacetime has reached the 6th realm, allowing him not only to refine ultimate weapons but also to do it much faster than those level 11 perfect legendary beings. Moreover, a higher understanding of spacetime is also very helpful in unlocking the power of ultimate weapons. An ultimate weapon, in the hands of a transcendent being, can display the might of hundreds of thousands and even millions in battle strength. But in the hands of a level 11 perfect legendary being, it can merely exert hundreds? The exploration of ultimate weapons by level 11 perfect beings is not even considered trivial. Let's take a look. Lin Yuan carefully selected among the 32 ultimate weapons, which required serious contemplation. Although in Lin Yuan's heart, the most suitable ultimate weapon would be the origin clock, it is still far from transforming into an ultimate weapon. Before that happens, Lin Yuan doesn't mind using a few ultimate weapons as a stopgap. Even if these ultimate weapons are not very suitable for him, their inherently high-quality nature can still significantly enhance his combat capability. This iron staff. Lin Yuan looked at a pitch-black iron staff. This iron staff was the first defensive weapon Lin Yuan obtained in the two-dimensional world. Even when confined within the two-dimensional world and subject to dimensional suppression, the staff's revealed aura was extremely powerful, filled with an overwhelming sense of weight. Once freed from the two-dimensional world and arriving in the main universe, the staff's innate power began to partially recover. Picking up this iron staff, the energy Lin Yuan would expend could probably lift tens of thousands of stars. Let's see if it feels right. With a thought, Lin Yuan moved to the high skies of the Shenhuang secret realm. In the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan used the pitch-black iron staff numerous times, but that staff in the two-dimensional world was completely different from the current one. With the restoration of 12-stage power, the staff in Lin Yuan's hands felt like it could crush the stars themselves. Whoosh! Lin Yuan held the pitch-black iron staff and casually swung it forward. A terrifying dark shadow emerged, and a black spatial crack tens of thousands of miles long was fiercely torn through the void of the Shenhuang secret realm. Before an initial refining of an ultimate weapon, if one has a high enough understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule, it is possible to unleash some power of the ultimate weapon in advance. However, compared to after preliminary refining, the power would be much lower, and the energy expenditure even greater. Chapter 835. However, for Lin Yuan, this was naturally not a big deal. He didn't fully activate the might of this supreme weapon, just trying it out to see if it felt right in his hands. Rustle, rustle. One after another, black spatial rifts appeared. Everywhere they touched, everything was annihilated. In the distance, a six-armed figure looked on with curiosity, not knowing what Lin Yuan was up to. As the spirit of the Xianhuang's secret realm, the six-armed figure had an inkling that something was amiss with Lin Yuan's arrival, but couldn't pinpoint exactly what. Until Lin Yuan, holding a pitch-black iron staff, casually swung it, tearing a black rift tens of thousands of miles long. This particular black rift set the six-armed figure's heart trembling and mind fogging. Compared to the main universe, the space within the Xianhuang secret realm was much more stable. To tier space within the Xianhuang secret realm, one would at least need the strength of the ninth stage peak. But even at the ninth stage peak, the number of spatial layers torn in an instant would only be up to several hundreds of thousands at most. Even those special ninth stage beings from the myriad heavy realm, at their full strength, wouldn't exceed this number when tearing through the spatial layers. Level 10 and Level 11 powerhouses were almost the same. If they were in the Xianhuang secret realm, the number of spatial layers they could tear in an instant wouldn't exceed 10 million. However, the spat of that iron staff from Lin Yuan had caused black spatial rifts to form. Normally, spatial rifts would mostly appear gray-hued. Black rifts indicated that one was close to tearing through all the spatial layers. In other words, Lin Yuan's strike was so powerful that it could very well have pierced through the Xianhuang secret realm. How could the six-armed figure not tremble at heart? The Xianhuang's secret realm was opened by Emperor Xianhuang himself. Even if the internal defenses were not as robust as the external, piercing through the realm was no easy feat. At least the level 11 perfect legendary beings are far from capable of it, even with a supreme weapon in hand. It's very difficult to tear the spatial layers to this extent instantaneously. Just Lin Yuan? The six-armed figure watched Lin Yuan nonchalantly tear through rifts tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles long, and its heart violently trembled. Master! How could he demonstrate such a level of power with a supreme weapon? The six-armed figure could hardly believe it. He also saw that Lin Yuan's ability to open the black spatial rifts originated from that iron staff supreme weapon in his hand. But to activate a supreme weapon, one needed sufficient understanding of spacetime, especially since Lin Yuan had yet to refine those supreme weapons. Even if he could activate them, the power he could demonstrate would be extremely limited. But Lin Yuan? How did he manage to do it? The six-armed figure actually had a guess in his heart, which was that Lin Yuan's comprehension of spacetime was very high, perhaps reaching the 12th level. But this young master of the Xianhuang secret realm was only at the 10th level. High above the Xianhuang secret realm, Lin Yuan casually swung the pitch-black iron staff, feeling the power it exerted. With my current strength, at full power, plus initial refinement of this supreme weapon, I can create an eternal spatial rift within the Xianhuang's secret realm. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The condition for creating an eternal spatial rift was to tear through all spatial layers. Currently, with a supreme weapon in Lin Yuan's hand, even without initial refinement, he could release a strength of over 1,000 battles. The number of spatial layers in the Xianhuang secret realm was far fewer than in the main universe, hence he could hope to tear it open completely. Of course, Lin Yuan could only achieve this feat within the Xianhuang secret realm. In the main universe, to create an eternal spatial rift would require a strength capable of million battle might. That was the threshold strength of the 12th level. Only with such strength could one tear through all the spatial layers of the main universe. This iron staff, it still doesn't suit me. After trying for a while, Lin Yuan gave up the idea of refining the iron staff. The power of the staff was indeed great, but it was different from Lin Yuan's fighting style. Moreover, in the two-dimensional world, in front of the powerhouses of the myriad clans, Lin Yuan had used this supreme weapon several times. If he now chose to refine this pitch-black iron staff, as soon as he used it in the outside world, it would surely be recognized by the powerhouses of the starry sky races. The conclusion would then be drawn. That human evolver named Shuiyu, from the two-dimensional world, was Lin Yuan. Supreme weapons are not unique, but there are only so many in number, and there are few choices for staff-shaped supreme weapons. Next, Lin Yuan continued to try out the other 31 supreme weapons. Ultimately, for offensive supreme weapons, he chose a silver-white battle saber. This silver-white battle saber embodied a complete space Great Tao, which is space Great Tao, not space rules. With one slash, its sharpness reached an extreme. As for defense, regarding physical defense, Lin Yuan chose a golden armor, one of the finest physical defensive weapons among the 32 supreme weapons. And for soul defense, Lin Yuan's choices were very limited because among the 32 supreme weapons, there was only one that was a supreme weapon for soul defense. It was a deep cyan bead. 3 supreme weapons, 1 offensive and 2 defensive. Fully armed to the teeth, other level 11 perfect legendary beings would find it extremely difficult to obtain 1 supreme weapon bestowed by their tribes, yet Lin Yuan was equipped with 3 at once. What a pity, with my understanding of space-time, even if I could refine the supreme weapons quickly, the energy needed to activate them dictates that I can hold at most 3. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. If possible, he naturally wanted to refine all the supreme weapons. But it was unrealistic, not being a supreme being. The burden of activating supreme weapons was great. Even if Lin Yuan stepped into the 11th level, it was not possible to activate too many supreme weapons at once. This will be the 3. Time to start refining them. Lin Yuan once again appeared at the deepest part of the Shenhuang's secret realm, picked up the silver-white battle saber, and his will began to penetrate as he quickly started the refining process. Refining a supreme weapon was no simple matter. Normally, for level 11 perfect beings to initially refine a supreme weapon, it would take thousands to tens of thousands of years. Lin Yuan, however, was much faster, able to refine one in just a few years at most. Chapter 836. The Incredible Strongest Beings. Refining the strongest weapon is naturally a task for the Taiyang Divine Spirit. Lin Yuan's true self shares with the 2 major primordial spirits' wills. No matter which one refines it, the other 2 can enjoy the benefits. Essentially, the true self and the primordial spirit belong to the same person. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sits cross-legged. In a few more months, I can step into the 11th layer. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Now, he has reached the extreme in almost every aspect. The only choice left is to step into the 11th layer. In fact, with Lin Yuan's current accumulation, let alone at the 10th layer, even within the 11th layer, it is unprecedented. To this day in this universe, no 11th layer being has ever comprehended the 6th realm of spacetime. But now, maybe I could try becoming a ranked disciple of the Magic Jade Tower? Lin Yuan's heart stirred. The disciples, or rather, the members of the Magic Jade Tower, are divided into 4 types. Ordinary disciple/member. Core disciple/member. Ranked disciple/member. Direct disciple/member. According to Lin Yuan's current choice to join Magic Jade Tower, the first condition to become a ranked disciple is to thoroughly comprehend all the demonic evolutionary paths within that strongest body. The second condition is to be a being below the 12th layer. To become an ordinary disciple of the Magic Jade Tower, one needs to comprehend 3,333 demonic evolutionary paths. To become a core disciple of the Magic Jade Tower, one needs to comprehend 33,333 demonic evolutionary paths. And to become a ranked disciple, one must comprehend all the demonic evolutionary paths. That is the condition for Lin Yuan to become a ranked disciple. The ranked disciples of the Magic Jade Tower are already considered the elite foundation of the Magic Jade Tower. According to the suggestion of Statue Shinji, if Lin Yuan could become a ranked disciple, he would be authorized to take over that demon jade space. But becoming a ranked disciple is too difficult. Even Shinji, who has witnessed many miracles, doesn't believe Lin Yuan has a chance. Comprehending all the demonic evolutionary paths, and restricted to beings below the 12th layer? Beings below the 12th layer wanting to comprehend the demonic evolutionary paths from within the body of the strongest being. Even though the strongest being has fallen, it's almost impossible to achieve. When Magic Jade Tower was at its peak, most beings that became ranked disciples chose to cultivate a particular demonic evolutionary path and perfect it. As for the few that comprehended the demonic evolutionary paths wholly, they also relied on the heritage keystones in Magic Jade Tower that specifically carried the demonic evolutionary paths for enlightenment. Directly comprehending the demonic evolutionary paths from the body of the strongest being? Nearly impossible. The interference from the body of the strongest being itself is too great, and the omnipresent will pressure greatly increases the difficulty of comprehending the demonic evolutionary paths. But now Lin Yuan is considering giving it a try. Primarily because the rewards of becoming a ranked disciple of Magic Jade Tower are quite tempting to Lin Yuan. And taking over the Demon Jade space would allow Lin Yuan to enjoy the benefits of being a ranked disciple to the greatest extent. The last is the confidence Lin Yuan gained from the 10th traverse to comprehend all the demonic evolutionary paths. Virtual world. Space for contemplating the demonic evolutionary paths. The phantom of that strongest body still floats above the sky. Countless evolvers from human civilization have come and gone, gone and come. Up until now, among the many evolvers of human civilization who have cultivated and supplemented demonic evolutionary paths to become ordinary members of Magic Jade Tower, there is only an evolver named Yuan Qing. The more one cultivates, the more one can feel the unfathomable depth of the strongest being's level. Lin Yuan sits cross-legged on the mountain peak, looking up at that body. Even though Lin Yuan has already reached the 12th layer in certain aspects, there is still a vast gap compared to a true strongest being. Not to mention anything else, but the universe inside the strongest being, which spans tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of light years. How vast must the flesh and soul birthed in such a colossal internal universe be? Lin Yuan's internal world has already broken the restrictions and shackles of the main universe, yet it only spans 200 to 300 million miles in radius. Compared to the internal universe of the strongest being measured in light years, it's not on the same level at all. Let's start by comprehending the demonic evolutionary paths. Lin Yuan's thoughts converged, and he carefully observed the body above the sky. Before performing the 10th traverse, the greatest obstacle Lin Yuan faced in contemplating this body was the omnipresent mental will pressure originating from within the body. This mental will pressure constantly interfered with Lin Yuan's contemplation of the demonic evolutionary paths. Most crucially, compared to when the mental will index was below 100,000, this mental will pressure could still polish one's own mental will. Once the mental will index surpasses 100,000, the polishing effect of this mental will pressure is almost non-existent. Having lost the use of polishing the mental will and constantly disturbed by the mental will pressure, even Lin Yuan, with his against heaven's understanding, doesn't see a hope of comprehending all the demonic evolutionary paths in a short time. The mental will pressure originates from the strongest beings, and all life forms beneath the strongest beings experience disturbances. The more evolution pathways of demons one comprehends, the greater the disturbance received. But now, the reason Lin Yuan has the confidence to fully comprehend all demonic evolution pathways is that he is confident in resisting this mental will pressure interference. The 10th traversal brought Lin Yuan the greatest help, which was not achieving the 6th realm of space and time, but raising his mental will index to 33,334,000. Achieving the 6th realm of space and time would have been possible for Lin Yuan even outside the boundless void, but such an immense increase in mental will. Lin Yuan had never anticipated that before traversing. A mental will index of 30 to 40 million not only reaches the level of the strongest, but also isn't low among them. Facing the mental will pressure emanating from the bodies of strongest beings of the same level, it is not to say he can completely ignore it, but resisting it wouldn't take much effort. As long as the interference from this mental will pressure is lost, with Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, fully comprehending all demonic evolution pathways is just a matter of time. Your against heaven's understanding observed the mysterious body, comprehending 10 kinds of demonic evolution pathways. Your against heaven's understanding observed the mysterious body, comprehending 50 kinds of demonic evolution pathways. Your against heaven's understanding observed the mysterious body, comprehending 200 kinds of demonic evolution pathways. As Lin Yuan predicted, during this comprehension of the body, the mental will pressure that previously caused him great disturbance now feels like a spring breeze, no longer affecting him at all. In just half a day, Lin Yuan had comprehended thousands of demonic evolution pathways. To fully comprehend all demonic evolution pathways, relying solely on the body projections in the virtual world might not be sufficient. At the necessary moment, I need to comprehend the body itself. While Lin Yuan was comprehending, he still had the capacity to think about reliance. The bodies that all human evolvers are comprehending are those where several strongest beings of human civilization jointly replicated part of that body's essence and then projected it into the virtual world. As for why not to comprehend the body itself, it's because the influence and contamination from the body itself are too great. Even 11th tier evolvers dare not come too close, let alone comprehend. As for evolvers below the 11th tier, if they dare to directly comprehend the body of the strongest, they would probably be burst by the immense information contained within the body of the strongest in an instant. Even if not burst, they would quickly collapse under the massive mental will pressure originating from the body of the strongest itself. But for Lin Yuan now, the aforementioned problems are no longer issues. With Lin Yuan's current mental will index, even if facing a living strongest being, he would stand fearless in terms of mental will, let alone a deceased strongest being. That segment of the strongest being's body must be kept in the human civilization treasury. Given Lin Yuan's current status in human civilization, if he wants to directly comprehend that segment of the body, he just needs to mention it to Xia Qin and other strongest beings. After all, it's just comprehending, not taking away that body segment. Lin Yuan divided a sliver of mental will to comprehend the numerous demonic evolution pathways within the body. Meanwhile, his true self still sat on the Milky Way main star, adjusting his state to perfection as much as possible. Before stepping into the 11th layer, I still need to meet a strongest being. Lin Yuan thought, remembering the terrifying disturbance caused by the chaos void origin infusion when he stepped into the 10th layer. Now stepping into the 11th layer, the disturbance would only be greater, so Lin Yuan naturally wanted to inform the strongest beings beforehand. Provoking the chaos void origin infusion couldn't be concealed. Rather than having the strongest beings notice it during his breakthrough, it's better to openly mention it now. At least it would prepare several of the strongest beings of human civilization, so they needn't worry about movements from other races. As for the strongest beings of human civilization, Lin Yuan believed he could trust them. As long as he was a human evolver, he would receive support. Thinking this, Lin Yuan again split off a sliver of will, entering the virtual world. Xia Yu virtual world. Xia Qin, the strongest being, sat on the throne and suddenly opened his eyes. Galaxy Master is looking for me? Xia Qin's expression grew slightly solemn. Is it about discussing advancing to the 11th tier? Since knowing that Lin Yuan had comprehended the spatiotemporal fusion rule at the 10th layer, he had no doubts about Lin Yuan advancing to the 11th tier. The pillar-level fusion rule's second realm allows entry to the 11th tier, and comprehending the spatiotemporal fusion rule also enables entry to the 11th tier. In terms of difficulty, the latter is many times harder than the former. In this era of human civilization, a genius of this caliber is born. Xia Qin felt quite emotional after agreeing to Lin Yuan's entry. The 10th layer comprehending the spatiotemporal fusion rule? Xia Qin had only heard a few pieces of information about such monstrous entities from inheritances outside the universe. As for within the universe, at least Xia Qin, the Galaxy Master, had never known of such unparalleled geniuses being born. After not much time, Xia Qin saw Lin Yuan's figure appear. Since it was within the virtual world, whether it be Xia Qin or Lin Yuan, both were condensed from a sliver of mental will. Galaxy Master. Xia Qin smiled and was about to ask Lin Yuan what was the matter, but the next moment, Xia Qin could not smile anymore. He looked at Lin Yuan somewhat incredulously, sizing him up repeatedly, almost doubting his own senses. Chapter 837. Anticipation. Why do I feel like I'm facing another ultimate being? Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, was shocked. This was the perception of the Supreme Beings, emerging only when facing existences of the same level. When Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, interacted with 8 other Supreme Beings, this perception emerged. It also came forth when negotiating with other ultimate alien races. But now, Lin Yuan, a young lad who has just entered the 10th rank? Could it actually give Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, a similar feeling? If it weren't for Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, experiencing this himself, he wouldn't believe it at all. It's ridiculous. What's the reason? Spiritual will? Galaxy Master Spiritual will surpasses the threshold of 18 million mind will index points. No, it's not just surpassing, it is far beyond. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being's mind operated incredibly fast, immediately speculating the most likely reason. Firstly, this is the virtual world, whether it be Lin Yuan or Xia Qin, the Supreme Being. It is all a manifestation of a trace of spiritual will. Secondly, this place is the personal world of Xia Qin, the Supreme Being. Without permission, even other Supreme Beings can't use any power here. That is to say, the feeling Lin Yuan gives to Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, originates entirely from the intensity of spiritual will. Only when one's spiritual will steps into the level of Supreme Beings can it give Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, such a feeling. But Lin Yuan? Spiritual will strength of a Supreme Being. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, suddenly didn't know how to describe it. A 10th rank life form? Possessing the spiritual will strength of a Supreme Being. Can that still be called a 10th rank life form? Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, fell silent. Supreme Being? Lin Yuan also noticed Xia Qin, the Supreme Being's repeated scrutinizing gaze. Under normal circumstances, when he came to visit Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, the latter would have already started asking what the matter was. It seems he has felt my spiritual will strength, Lin Yuan thought to himself. It was inevitable given that Lin Yuan's spiritual will had reached the 12th rank, but ultimately, he was still at the 10th rank and could not perfectly conceal it in front of a Supreme Being. Even if he hadn't come to visit Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, before the breakthrough to the 11th rank, the Supreme Being incarnation would discover it when it descended. Your spiritual will, has it surpassed 20 million index points? After a moment of silence, Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, began to ask directly. Spiritual will indexes, once they exceed 10 million points, become very difficult to quantify specifically. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, only felt that Lin Yuan's spiritual will index had definitely reached the 12th rank level, and it wasn't just at the basic entry level. About. Lin Yuan nodded. In fact, his spiritual will index had reached 33,340,000 points, but that too falls under the category of surpassing 20 million. You. Having received confirmation from Lin Yuan, Xia Qin, the Supreme Being didn't know how to respond. A monstrosity. Absolutely monstrous. Merely at the 10th rank, yet in the domain of spiritual will, stepping into the 12th rank, can a human evolver really achieve this? Compared to other talents and aptitudes, spiritual will is the least susceptible to shortcuts. The unique special lives in the universe, with their exceedingly noble bloodlines, what about spiritual will? It still requires starting from scratch. A powerful physical soul, the spiritual will it cultivates will indeed be stronger, but certainly not with as much advantage as in the physical soul domain. I had a seclusion some time ago, where I gained some insights in spiritual will. Lin Yuan offered the reason he had prepared. The enhancement of spiritual will, aside from its gradual increase through extended age, can also be boosted in a short time through epiphanies. Here, epiphanies are the sudden insights into the operations of the universe and all things within it. However, such events are rare and, since the creation of the universe, have not occurred frequently, and even when they do, it is usually among life forms of lower ranks. For example, a 4th rank or 5th rank life form occasionally has an epiphany, and their spiritual will index jumps from a few hundred to a few thousand. Certain native lives on barbaric wilderness planets, without undergoing any evolutionary cultivation, have a spiritual will index nearing 10,000. But for someone like Lin Yuan, after an epiphany, to have the spiritual will index directly surpass 20 million points, probably has never happened before. Epiphany. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, once again fell silent, vaguely guessing that the significant rise in Lin Yuan's spiritual will was probably not as simple as an epiphany, because the increase was too substantial. Nevertheless, that was Lin Yuan's own secret, and Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, would not interfere. Since Lin Yuan stepped into the 10th rank, causing the chaos void origin infusion, and thereafter tearing open a cosmic rift measured by light years. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, knew Lin Yuan had his own remarkable encounters. Regarding these, Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, wouldn't even ask. Spiritual will. The stronger, the better. After much thought, Xiaqin, the Supreme Being, slowly began. The higher the rank of the evolver, the more they could feel the importance of spiritual will. Evolutionaries from the first rank to the fifth and sixth rank probably don't even know about spiritual will. But starting from the seventh rank, especially when breaking through to the eighth rank, one of the prerequisites is that the spiritual will index reaches 10,000 points. Only then can one confidently surpass the heart demon tribulation. From the eighth rank onwards, the influence of spiritual will grows continuously. By the 11th rank, when striking for the ultimate, it necessitates a spiritual will index of 10 million points. In fact, the importance of spiritual will goes far beyond this. Whether it be human civilization's 11th rank evolvers or other alien races' 11th rank powerhouses, their physical souls will no longer decay. But why do they still seek to extend their lifespan by slowing down the flow of time? Chapter 838. Theoretically, the physical and spiritual existence of a level 11 life should have no limitations on lifespan. However, in reality, the longer one lives, even if there are no problems with the physical and soul aspects, mental and spiritual will can still become distorted. Once the spiritual will becomes distorted and insane, true death is not far away. At this moment, the importance of a strong spiritual will is manifested. The stronger the spiritual will, the more it can counteract this distortion and insanity. Currently, with Lin Yuan's strength of spiritual will, he could easily live through an entire cosmic era. Even if it were not for the destruction of the universe and the collapse and depletion of the river of time, which ensures the death of all lives within the river, Lin Yuan would be able to live through multiple cosmic eras. Additionally, a strong spiritual will has profound impacts on many aspects. Especially in terms of soul defense, a strong spiritual will in place is more helpful than any soul defensive artifact. Supreme Being, I have come this time to prepare for my breakthrough to level 11. Lin Yuan mentioned the main issue, which was also one of the reasons he came to meet Xiaqin Supreme Being. Breakthrough to level 11? Xiaqin Supreme Being immediately grasped the situation. He had long guessed that Lin Yuan was here for this purpose. However, just at the beginning of their meeting, he was so shocked by Lin Yuan's terrifying spiritual will that he has not yet recovered. When are you planning to make the breakthrough? Xiaqin Supreme Being asked seriously. In a few months, Lin Yuan answered. For a breakthrough, one must choose the best state of condition. With Lin Yuan's current rate of adjustment, a few months should suffice. No problem. Xiaqin Supreme Being nodded. At that time, I will call them to be your protectors. Xiaqin Supreme Being's expression turned slightly solemn. Them naturally refers to the other 9 supreme beings of human civilization. 200 to 300 years ago, when Lin Yuan broke through to level 10, the disturbance was far beyond what Xiaqin Supreme Being had anticipated. If it were not for forcibly borrowing the power of the supreme beings and the assist from the feather butterfly supreme being next door, it might have alerted other alien supreme beings with just Xiaqin Supreme Being's own avatar's power alone. But this time, Xiaqin has learned his lesson and directly called in the other 8 supreme beings of human civilization. With the power of 9 supreme beings, even protecting during the ultimate impact for level 11 will be more than sufficient. Thus, Xiaqin Supreme Being believes that he is well prepared this time. Rest assured, my true form will continuously watch over the Milky Way main star. You can proceed with your breakthrough without worries. Xiaqin Supreme Being added another sentence. The true forms of the 9 supreme beings of human civilization are all stationed at crucial nodes of the territory, deterring other alien supreme beings. After all, the true form of a supreme being represents the highest battle power in the universe. But for Lin Yuan's breakthrough this time, Xiaqin Supreme Being is ready to mobilize his true form at any moment. Ensuring that Lin Yuan successfully steps into level 11 is currently the most crucial task for human civilization, and it's acceptable even to pay some price for it. Besides, even if Xiaqin Supreme Being deploys his true form, it's highly unlikely that the alien races will make any excessive moves unless they wish to provoke a full-scale war. Otherwise, a certain balance is generally maintained. Thank you, Supreme Being, Lin Yuan said. This is the advantage of having the support of a powerful force, being smooth sailing before fully growing up unless one intentionally seeks challenges to train themselves. Otherwise, with Lin Yuan's natural talent, he wouldn't have to divert any attention to anything other than his breakthrough. No need to thank me, Xiaqin Supreme being shook his head slightly. If other peak races in the universe knew that a monstrous talent like Lin Yuan was born within human civilization, they would probably go mad with envy. With your current strength, you should consider aiming for the ultimate. The ultimate leap of a level 11 life. External forces might help, but they certainly won't play a dominant role, Xiaqin Supreme being rarely reminded. Human civilization indeed possesses artifacts and methods to assist in the ultimate breakthrough, like that source of the universe. But to step into level 12 and become a supreme being, it largely depends on oneself. Lin Yuan nodded. Understood. Currently, the most crucial artifact that Lin Yuan possesses for the ultimate impact is the heart of space-time. This is prepared by the demonic Jade Tower Master for his own direct disciple, allowing one to escape the bindings of the River of Time during the ultimate leap phase. Compared to the source of the universe, the heart of space-time has much greater effects. Good that you understand, Xiaqin Supreme being nodded. Actually, these words are usually meant for 11th level perfected evolvers. For 11th level perfected evolvers, stepping into the ultimate is just one step away, and receiving such reminders is more than normal. As for a level 10 like Lin Yuan, he is completely an exception. Supreme Being, there's one more thing. Lin Yuan spoke lowly after discussing a few more things with Xiaqin Supreme Being. Go ahead. Xiaqin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan with a smile. I want to comprehend that segment of the level 12 physical body itself. Lin Yuan stated. Within the virtual world, that segment of the body is ultimately just a projection. To thoroughly understand all demonic evolutionary paths, one must directly comprehend the physical body itself. If this were before the 10th traversal, Lin Yuan definitely would not have easily done this. Facing the remnant body of a creature of level 12 is highly risky for any being below level 12. That segment of the body, well, you should be fine. Xiaqin Supreme Being was just about to comment on whether Lin Yuan could withstand the psychic pressure from the body itself. But then immediately thought of Lin Yuan's supreme level spiritual will. The psychic pressure from the remnant body at the same supreme level poses no threat to another supreme being. Chapter 839. This has also been repeatedly confirmed by the 9 supreme beings of human civilization. Even the supreme being Xiaqin also comprehended that severed body for a while, understanding most of the demonic evolutionary pathways. Unfortunately, the conditions for supreme beings to join the demonic Jade Tower are completely different from those of 7th and 8th layer beings. Even if a supreme being comprehends all the demonic evolutionary pathways within the severed body, they cannot become the most ordinary disciple of the demonic Jade Tower. Compared to 7th and 8th layer beings comprehending the demonic evolutionary pathways, it is too simple for a supreme being. Moreover, when the demonic Jade Tower recruits beings of the supreme level, there is another set of standards for assessment, personally presided over by the Moyu Tower Master. However, the Moyu Tower Master has long since disappeared for several cosmic eras, making it basically impossible for supreme beings to join the Moyu Tower. Still, be cautious. Once you detect any anomaly, withdraw immediately. After repeated deliberation, the supreme being Xiaqin confirmed that there were no risks for Lin Yuan and nodded in agreement. All right, Lin Yuan responded. I've already granted you the access, you just need to head to the 13 Sirius grounds. Someone will take you there. The supreme being Xiaqin closed his eyes, and after a moment, he opened them and looked at Lin Yuan. Human civilization has 22 Sirius grounds. That body comes from the Chaos Void Force demonic Jade Tower, highly valued by the 9 supreme beings of human civilization, specifically placed within the 13 Sirius grounds. 13 Sirius grounds. Lin Yuan nodded. Previously under the guidance of the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being, he went to a majestic palace in front of several supreme beings. That place was the number 3 Sirius ground of human civilization. How many merit points do I need to pay? Lin Yuan asked. Such comprehension of 12-star level artifacts required merit points. Lin Yuan's black star in the guiding space. Entering once requires 1 billion merit points. 12 guiding spaces. A round totals 12 billion merit points. The upper limit of the guiding space is the 4th realm of fusion rules, belonging to the 11th layer level. No one has comprehended that body anyway. You comprehending it won't affect anything. No merit points are needed. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, waved his hand. Actually, merit points can also be collected, but on such minor matters, with the authority of Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, he could choose to collect or not. Those merit points were too insignificant for Xia Qin to care about. So he simply chose not to bother collecting them. Thank you, Supreme Being. Lin Yuan expressed his gratitude again, understanding that this was Xia Qin looking out for him. After chatting a few more words with Xia Qin, Lin Yuan brought up his departure. Watching Lin Yuan disappear into his individual world, Xia Qin, Supreme Being, sank into contemplation. Shortly after, a figure condensed out of thin air. It was the feather butterfly Supreme Being. Xia Qin, are you crazy? Actually allowing the Galaxy Master to comprehend that body? The feather butterfly Supreme Being frowned. The authority for Lin Yuan to go to the 13 Sirius grounds and comprehend the body was transmitted through the virtual world. And as the creator of the virtual world, the feather butterfly Supreme Being was naturally the first to know, hence she appeared immediately. As a Supreme Being, the feather butterfly Supreme Being clearly knew the impact of that severed body on life forms below the 12th layer. This can be seen from the fact that until now, no 11th layer evolutionary dared to comprehend that body. Those lesser 7th and 8th layer guys only comprehend a projection of the true body. The mental and willpower pressure they withstand is far less than directly facing the body itself's despair. The feather butterfly Supreme Being couldn't imagine why Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, would make such a decision. The Galaxy Master is the most talented genius in the history of human civilization, potentially becoming the 10th Supreme Being, allowing such a genius with limitless potential to comprehend that body. The feather butterfly Supreme Being couldn't understand. Feather butterfly, don't worry. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, looked at feather butterfly, the Supreme Being, and explained, the talent of the Galaxy Master is even beyond our expectations. Talent is talent. The Galaxy Master is only at the 10th layer now. Even if he is hopeful to withstand the source mind and willpower pressure of that body, it would be after stepping into the 12th layer. Have you thought through the consequences of letting him comprehend it now? The feather butterfly Supreme Being said. The Galaxy Master is an evolutionary of Xia Yu Evolution Tower. It's reasonable for Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, to decide how to guide. But the Galaxy Master's talent is too terrifying. As an evolutionary of human civilization, Feather Butterfly wouldn't allow Xia Qin to ruin such an exceptional human genius. After the 12th layer, Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, looked strange and finally shook his head. No need to wait that long. They can resist it now. What do you mean? Feather Butterfly, the Supreme Being, was slightly stunned. The mind and willpower of the Galaxy Master has already reached the level of the 12th layer. Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, didn't keep it a secret and said directly, mind and willpower at the 12th layer level. Feather Butterfly, the Supreme Being, was also silent. She sent a strand of mind and willpower, through the virtual world authority, began to lock onto the mental will incarnation Lin Yuan had just condensed. Indeed, over 18 million points of mind and willpower index, to be precise, at least over 20 million points. Feather Butterfly, the Supreme Being, pupils sharply contracted, somewhat in disbelief. Right? Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, looked at Feather Butterfly, the Supreme Being, quite pleased, as if he was looking at his former self. A 10th layer life. How can it have such strong mind and willpower? Feather Butterfly, the Supreme Being, muttered to herself, if Lin Yuan's mind and willpower is so strong, then there should be no problem comprehending that body. After all, it is only a part of a body. It has fallen for who knows how many eons. Being able to retain some residual mind and willpower pressure is already quite impressive, coupled with the suppression by the 9 supreme beings of human civilization. Lin Yuan only needs to withstand the mind and willpower pressure. Then there would be no hidden dangers. Who knows? Xia Qin, the Supreme Being, shook his head, his face showing a look of anticipation. But now I'm even more curious to what heights this little guy can reach in the future. Chapter 840. I'll wait for you on the 11th step. My current mental will is too strong. Even the strongest beings can sense it with just a slight perception, thought Lin Yuan as he sat cross-legged on the Milky Way main star. This was one of the drawbacks of a rapidly improving mental will. His realm had yet to catch up. However, once I step into the 11th rank, things should get much better. Lin Yuan thought quietly to himself. After stepping into the 11th rank, Lin Yuan's physical soul body's inner world would undergo another significant leap forward. At that time, it's estimated that he could barely withstand the pressure of over 33 million units of mental will. Unless Lin Yuan made a full effort and deliberately exposed himself, it would be tough for even the strongest beings to detect any anomalies in his mental will. Virtual world. Lin Yuan met with his parents, casually chatting. Xiaoyuan, your sister and brother-in-law, also came over. Lu Qiong, his mother, received the news and looked at Lin Yuan. Let them come over. Lin Yuan nodded. Ever since his sister Lin Yi married Xia Karen, he seldom saw them. Soon, Lin Yi and Xia Karen appeared. Greetings, Galaxy Master. Facing Lin Yuan, Xia Karen was still extremely respectful. Since marrying Lin Yi, Xia Karen had clearly felt his status within the Xia family rise more than just a notch. Originally, Xia Karen was just an ordinary direct descendant of the Xia family. With the scale of human the Xia family, there were at least hundreds of thousands, if not a million such direct descendants. They had a certain status and no worries about food and drink, but that was all. With the identity of a direct descendant of the Xia family, Xia Karen could lead a carefree life, but the possibility of reaching a high position was virtually non-existent. Who knew how many were in line ahead of him? But merely by being with Lin Yi, Xia Karen received a summons from that 11th rank old ancestor of the Xia family. After the two married, Xia Karen was directly admitted into the core of the Xia family, and even had the hope of becoming the next head of the Xia family. The head of the Xia family was a significant figure in human civilization, of great importance. This was a position Xia Karen did not even dare to dream of before. However, Xia Karen had a very clear understanding of himself. All of his current changes in status and identity originated from the Galaxy Master. Without the Galaxy Master, he Xia Karen would have been just one of the numerous, insignificant direct descendants of the vast human the Xia family. Lin Yuan nodded slightly, quite satisfied with Xia Karen. At the very least, the man was truly sincere towards Lin Yi. With Lin Yuan's current privileges as a level 9 citizen, Xia Karen had almost no privacy in front of him. The family chatted for a while. Then Lin Yuan stood up and left. The outside world says that the Galaxy Master has the highest talent in our human civilization. But who knows that apart from cultivation, the Galaxy Master has no other interests. It was not until Lin Yuan left that Xia Karen finally relaxed a bit. He didn't know why, but every time he saw the Galaxy Master, he was incredibly nervous, not even daring to breathe too loudly. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had gone by. Virtual world, that segment of the body still hovered above the sky. Lin Yuan slowly emerged from the state of contemplation. These 3 months, I have thoroughly understood over 2 million demonic evolutionary pathways, and there are no more for me to deduce. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. The body he was contemplating at the moment was just a projection after all, naturally not containing as much information as the actual body itself. Well, I should make a trip to the 13th Forbidden Zone. On the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan opened his eyes and split off a strand of mental will, forming an avatar that immediately disappeared on the spot. With Lin Yuan's current mental will strength, even a temporarily conjured avatar could easily wield 11th rank battle power. This is the advantage of strong mental will. An avatar of the strongest being can also exert battle power far above the 11th rank. Whoosh! The avatar Lin Yuan conjured up left the Milky Way star region in the blink of an eye. Space-time. The strong mental will meant that this avatar could utilize most of Lin Yuan's rule perception, including the 6th realm of space-time. Therefore, when it came to traveling, It was undoubtedly the fastest existence beneath the strongest beings in current human civilization. Of course, this fastest is based on the premise that other human civilization evolvers do not rely on external forces for travel. Relying solely on his own power and rule perception, Lin Yuan believed that no 11th level perfected evolver could exceed this avatar of his. 1 month later, Lin Yuan smoothly arrived at the 13th Forbidden Zone. As a critical location of human civilization, any citizen entering this place would need to undergo strict checks. Lin Yuan, with the authority delegated by the powerful Xia Qin, naturally encountered no obstructions along the way and directly reached the depths of the Forbidden Zone. This Forbidden Zone is also a terrifying ultimate weapon. Lin Yuan surveyed his surroundings, sensing a faint pressure. Very soon, Lin Yuan arrived in front of a grand hall. After passing the identity soul determination, Lin Yuan smoothly entered the hall. From the outside, the hall didn't appear very large, only a few dozen miles in radius. But once Lin Yuan entered, he found himself in a vast world. That is, at first glance, Lin Yuan saw a body placed at the center of this world. Compared to the projection in the virtual world, this body was even more realistic and detailed, with even the textures clearly visible. At the same time, a surging, ocean-like spiritual will came crashing down on Lin Yuan like a deluge. Lin Yuan's expression remained unchanged. This spiritual will was far more powerful than the projection inside the virtual world, strong enough to destroy the will of a level 11 evolver in a short time. Even a level 11 perfected evolver wouldn't last long in front of this body, and might even incur some irreversible damage afterwards. But Lin Yuan? It was no more than a spring breeze on his face. With 334 million points of spiritual will index, not to mention just a body, even if this ultimate being were to come back to life, Lin Yuan was confident he could withstand it without using any other powers, as long as they didn't use any other powers. The body of an ultimate being? Lin Yuan approached within 10 meters, the best distance for observing the body. Inside the virtual world, Lin Yuan could only see vague parts of the projection, but now, he could clearly see every detail within the flesh and blood of this body. The skin of this body was crystal clear, with a faint layer of black membrane on the surface. Lin Yuan observed deeper, magnifying the flesh and blood by 1,000,000 times, only to find that the body was like a vast universe, each cell a vast star domain, with countless rules and essences flowing through the flesh like black demonic jade. Are these traces of cultivating the demonic jade immortal body? Lin Yuan was shocked. After becoming a core disciple of the magic jade tower, Lin Yuan could choose one secret technique from many, including the demonic jade immortal body. However, in the end, Lin Yuan chose illusionary reality, allowing his 2 primordial spirits to be no longer ineffective and possess strength close to his true body. Lin Yuan made this choice not because the demonic jade immortal body wasn't strong, but because he needed the secret technique, phantasm reality, even more at that time. The cultivator of the demonic jade immortal body has fallen? Lin Yuan thought to himself that as a 12th level body refining secret technique, the demonic jade immortal body was probably at the same level as the body of Shen Huang, known for its life-preserving capability. Even so, this ultimate being still perished. Even after perishing, the demonic jade immortal body within the flesh was broken through. Otherwise, those few ultimate beings in the universe wouldn't have been able to dismember this ultimate being so easily. Perfecting the body of Shen Huang to the 12th level, one could withstand the collapse of the universe. The demonic jade immortal body was estimated to be almost at the same level. Even if the demonic jade immortal body wasn't perfected, it shouldn't be easy for a few ultimate beings to tear apart the flesh so effortlessly. Chaos void. Lin Yuan's expression became grave. Within the universe, ultimate beings were absolutely invincible, and since the beginning of the universe, no ultimate being had been known to completely perish. Even in the most brutal wars, they would at most be badly injured. But outside the universe, in the chaos void, ultimate beings could die. Probably only beings as powerful as the Shen Huang or the Moyu Tower Master could traverse the chaos void with impunity. Contemplate. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts, and as he faced this body directly, Insights that were once stagnant flooded into his mind again. Your understanding defies the heavens. By observing the mysterious body, new demonic evolution pathways have been comprehended. As Lin Yuan continued to contemplate, a large number of new demonic evolution pathways were revealed. Can I try directly comprehending the demonic jade immortal body? In the midst of contemplation, the idea suddenly flashed through Lin Yuan's mind. Having the demonic jade immortal body placed alongside illusionary reality, its level of preciousness need not be stated. Since there were traces of demonic jade immortal body cultivation left in this body, with Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, it was entirely possible to comprehend a part of it. Even if he couldn't comprehend the complete demonic jade immortal body, just comprehending a part of it would be immensely profitable. Virtual world. Lin Yuan casually chatted with evolvers like the Black Star Lord, Lustrous Star Master, and others. Preceding his breakthrough to the 11th level, Lin Yuan primarily focused on adjusting his state, with cultivation being secondary. How is your cultivation going recently, Galaxy Master? The Black Star Lord asked Lin Yuan. Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today.